So I'm going to turn at this time the mic over to our governor for some opening remarks and get us kicked off here. So thank you, Governor. Help me welcome Governor Little.
Well, about your disclaimer, if there's any great ideas, they're all mine. But you know, this is something that I've spent an inordinate amount of time on. I'll start with the end of my speech, and then I'll go into the beginning of it. There is no one elegant solution. Many of the Farm Bureau, we were in the UK in September, and they've got it all figured out there. They give farmers and ranchers money for everything. They got a 50% inheritance tax, and rich people from London are going to own all the farm ground. I don't think that's what we want to do in Idaho. There's incredibly perverse incentives the way they do some of the things over there. There's some other things they do right, but we should learn from that. But here in Idaho, to your point and Lieutenant Governor Bedke's point, the incredibly rapid growth that's taken place is running headlong into kind of traditionally what we've always done in agriculture. But what I like to tell those people is remember that when you came here because the economy was pretty good, agriculture, food processing. You came here because there were these coveted open spaces, agriculture. You came here because there were thriving rural communities, agriculture. You came here because of the work ethic that exists in the communities, in the businesses, agriculture. So don't screw it up. It really is fundamental. There's, you know, as we look around at other states, even what other communities do, there's a variety of solutions. And I'm very glad to be here, to be part of this, to listen to those solutions. You know, private property rights are a fundamental tenet of this country, the founding of this country as we celebrate 250 years. They're a fundamental tenet to the right thing. Teresa and I went to, on an agriculture people-to-people tour to Eastern Europe, right literally months after the Berlin Wall came down. And central government control, you can see what that happened. Great, big, huge government-owned farms doing practices that nobody in this room would ever do, perverse incentives, incredible pollution, except the only country, Eastern country that was not the case was Poland, where the Catholic Church was strong enough that as the communist government tried to take it over, they pushed back, and the farms were an average of about 10 acres. Small little farms, and of course, we all know the crack in the Berlin Wall started right in Poland, and that's where it radiated out over the rest of Eastern Europe. But as Eastern Europe suffers from the mismanagement of collective government control, they're in the same place a lot of others. How do you do that? And you know, if the best solution for ag land preservation, this is Brad's idealistic, is profitable multi-generation agriculture families that have an incentive to want to stay there. They're building up their workforce to want to be there, or they've got a family member or somebody, you know, maybe a very dedicated employee that they want to have the farm. But agriculture just requires a lot of time. We know that the investments that we make today often don't pay off for 10, 20, or 30 years. You know, whether it's genetics, whether it's crop fertility, whether it's a new variety, whether it's fill in the blank, whether it's a big capital project to make it more profitable. We do not operate on a quarter-to-quarter income statement that we're worried of. We do take on debt, sometimes a little too much, but we do take on debt and make those commitments. But those commitments are from us and our families. it's different than many other people, that if you take on debt as a rancher or farmer, that cloud is on you, and that's why families work so hard. But I really look forward to solutions. I know there's different things. Planning and zoning is a fundamental fact of life. I think my dad was one of the senators that voted against planning and zoning in 1972. And I think, was it Lewis County was the last county, or Lewis or Boise County were the last counties to implement planning and zoning. It's not perfect. And I do tell a lot of people this, the selection and the support of a good planning and zoning is absolutely critical. I don't know whether, I always weigh whether being on a school board or whether planning and zoning are the worst jobs in state government. It kind of rolls back and forth between the two of them. But we have land use planning. It's up to the counties, as it should be. The solutions in one area where you have the seed industry is different than it is in another area. And so we need that local control or that local input into how those are operated. But I look forward to the recommendations and look forward to the rest of the panel. So thank you.